What's up, and welcome to the Boys of Fall College Football Gambling Podcast. It is week 7 already. We see a lot of you guys have in here already. We had Steven in here, Ryan, Steven's back in here, Robert showed up, Maryland starting slow a little bit, but Ty, we are in week 7. We've been doing pretty good on the show here. You have been actually in fuego recently in the last 15 to 20 units or so in the last couple weeks in Discord, right? You've been on fire.
Yeah, 20 units in the month. I mean, I had a bad day yesterday. Those days happen, but it's not about the losing days, right? I ask you not to judge me on my wins or my losses because I have so few. All right. That's why I asked you to judge me on. Yesterday was bad, but we're getting it back with another big weekend. And look, October 12th is the weekend I told every single buddy I know, if you're having a wedding, I apologize, I'm not coming. Impossible for me to show up. It is the biggest slate of college football that I've seen in a long time, and I couldn't be more excited.
There are some pretty good games. There's a lot of road dogs this week. There's a lot of that Big Ten traveling. What do they say? They travel 2 time zones. They got certain records and everything. A lot of that going on. Ohio State traveling all the way to Oregon. A lot of good stuff. We got Quan in the chat. Tennessee is looking horrendous. Tennessee lost but let me just say though too, last week, luckily we weren't really messing with a lot of that stuff, but there was some casualties last week. Tennessee looked, joking aside, Tennessee did not look good against Nebraska. Last Friday we saw
I feel like I said it in here.
yeah. Bama lost. That was last week, right?
Yeah.
Vandy. Like I said, Houston beat TCU for the first time in 30 years. 17-point dog or something like that. So we had some pretty crazy stuff. So hopefully we kind of get that to kind of level out, kind of smooth out, and we have ourselves a good week. It's the no pun intended, calm after the storm kind of thing or whatever with all the hurricanes going on and stuff, but let me get the recap pulled up here. I got
okay. So while you're doing that, let me give something a little free right now. All right. So here's what's going to happen. Penn State, Ohio State will win this weekend. I don't know if you're on them or not. Ohio State will win this weekend. By the time Penn State, Ohio State plays, it's going to be 1-2. Okay. Not saying Penn State deserves to be the number 2 ranked team in the country. That's not what I'm saying at all, but that's just the way the cookie's going to crumble. Because what's going to happen is that means Texas has to lose. So they're either going to lose to Oklahoma, which I don't think they will. They're going to go to Vandy, and they're going to lose outright to Vanderbilt and Diego Pavia.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. Hey, clip this. Whoever knows how to do that, clip this.
It's on YouTube. It'll be on YouTube. You just go back and find it later.
Well, somebody clip it so I can do TikToks and stuff. Somebody had called me out that I don't post on TikTok anymore. I need to start doing that.
Right. Anyway, we're actually, if anybody has a question about that Texas game, we actually don't have. Sometimes you don't have to bet on every game. And I tell myself that pretty often. FanDuel's got a boost. 30% boost. Sometimes there's not. Sometimes it's a game is just one that you want to sit back and watch, and you think it's priced fairly, and you don't know how it's going. You certainly can have an opinion on it, but we're not always going to have a best bet on it. So speaking of best bets, let me actually. I think I can. There you go. So week 5, you can see we had 2 red. We're not going to go over it again. We were 8-2 in week 5. Week 6, last week we had 3 losses, 2 of them coming from me. I'm telling you guys, we're getting to the point where, and I feel like what we have on the board this week could be that 10-0. We'll see how it goes. Ty had a nice 4-1 day missing on the Virginia Tech and Stanford. Stanford just unfortunately did not really do a lot.
Nothing.
A lot of running and not a lot of tempo at the end of the game. They definitely kind of threw in the towel there. Tennessee, honestly, I even had them some money line and I do some money line parlays, like a 4-leg plus 100. Some people don't like it, but that's, my style. That even missed. So minus 13.5. Michigan money line, their offense just not doing a whole lot. Washington won their Super Bowl, last week. So 15-5 in the last 2 weeks. Pretty good, honestly, though. That's still a pretty good hit rate. But we, without further ado, I think we can go ahead and just start talking about some plays for this week. Ty, if you want to jump into number one here, I got it now, but if you want to go ahead and jump into number one.
Yeah, I'll jump into it. We're going down south, right to the Baby Blues. I got to get my character, okay? My Stu Feiner or the Philadelphia version, okay? We're going down south. We're going to the Baby Blues. We're going to Georgia Tech versus North Carolina. GT versus Unk, okay? I love this matchup. You're giving me a field goal with UNC at home, too? After they ran out of gas essentially last week against Pitt, they were keeping pace with them. The week prior, they lost by, or 2 weeks prior, they lost by a point to Duke. I'm going with North Carolina, all right? They give up a lot of yards in the air, okay? But Georgia Tech's a running team. It's really where they like to expose teams. I think North Carolina actually walks away with this outright. They're one of my dogs of the day. All right. I'm going with UNC plus 4.5, and you know what to do. Sprinkle that.
It's one of those. Okay. They're home, right? One of those home dogs out of the gate.
Yeah, they're a home dog. Anytime, listen, it's this simple. In college football, if you're going to give me a home dog, especially in like the 4.5 to 7.5 range, even up to 10.5, I'm going to most likely take that because they might not win outright, but they're going to keep it damn close most of the game. Now, as long as they don't get the fans out of the game early, North Carolina is going to have a real shot at walking away with this at the end. I think it's a field goal game either way. We're taking UNC, the Baby Blues, plus 4.5.
Yeah, I like that. They got a pretty solid running back there. Omarion Hampton or whatever his name is. Pretty good. And yeah, you're right. I mean, we're talking about Pittsburgh here in a little bit. Pitt's been a team. 5-0, looking fantastic. That will be a play of mine in a second. But they were able to hang, like you said, pretty well with Pitt. So I don't think Georgia Tech has that. So all right.
Just ran out of gas.
Yeah. Realistically. All right. So this next one that I have, my first one. So Ty's first play there is UNC plus 4.5. We'll recap at the end if you're just getting in. Like I said in the in the comments, let us know, hey, if you like the plays, let us know if you're looking for anything particular. Let me know if Maryland happens to do anything. Because maybe if I stop paying attention, they'll do something. Every Friday night, it's me looking at, I need to stop betting on Friday nights because it's just, I even said dogs run faster. Anyway, this line was at 10.5 earlier today when I talked to Ty. It moved to 11.5, which I'm not a gigantic favor of because obviously a 14-3 or something like that, could get us. But I like Clemson first half against Wake Forest minus 11.5. If you had the 10.5, on DraftKings, you can take an alt line. I didn't want to give an alt line out on here, especially one that's not as important of a line. I think that Clemson scoring 28.2 points per game in the first half, which has them third best in the FBS. So they're scoring a lot of points the first half. Wake is scoring about 15 points, so has them ranked 50. On defense, Clemson's given up only 8 points per game, which has them in the top 15, doing pretty good there. Wake's giving up 19. So Clemson's scoring a lot of points in the first half. Wake is not. Wake's allowing a lot of points. They're only scoring an average of the 28 in the first half. Now they're facing a Wake Forest defense who is allowing the fourth most pass yards in the nation. Wake Forest pass defense has been horrendous. I think that Clay Klubnik is going to get in there and, put on a clinic in the first half. You look at this team and Clemson has been getting up super quick. And then they kind of let teams back door a little bit. So I think the first half's going to be good. They're coming out hair on fire. Last week, Cade came out and put up 235 yards in the first half against Florida State. Florida State's not as good. Florida State has not been good this year. However, I would like to think that they do have a better defense than what Wake is going to offer. So I think a similar score is going to be here, and Clemson gets up big. As long if they can get 3 scores in them, I don't know if Wake scores a touchdown in the first half. So I think we're going to cover minus 11.5 for the first play there. Like it a lot. Someone he says Ohio State's on the way, Ty. He got something. I'm sure you're looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, I know they're on the way. I'm not worried about it.
Let's see. Can we get some live play? So I'm not really paying attention enough. And that's Ty's thing. So if Ty happens to look over and he sees something, but I did like Maryland's team total in general. I don't know what it's at right now, but might not be a bad idea to look and see what that might be live. But yes, sir, Dave. First half minus 11.5 for Clemson is my first play. Ty, what's your second play?
It wouldn't be a college football Saturday without me hand delivering you one of my favorite kind of bets. And that's a military academy salute to service play of the day. All right. We're going to go down and we're betting on Army. The Army of one. Be, soldier, all you can be. I don't know. I was in the Marine Corps. I don't know all the stuff that they sell you to get in there. But let me give you a little rundown, okay? This Army Black Knights team, the triple option has been figured out. You see that with Navy and you see that with Army. Last year, they changed the rules on how you could block this triple option. That's why you saw both teams looking really bad. It was the first year with the new blocking rules. This year, they figured it out, and I think the triple option looks better than ever. You have 3 dudes that are over 300-plus rushing yards. Bryson Daly, the QB, has 602. Kanye Udo, 434, running back. Noah Short, 355. Okay? 3 guys, all over 300 yards. 2 of them over 400 and 1 at 602. I mean, Bryson Daly has 10 touchdowns himself, with Kanye with 6 right behind him. All right? UAB has given up points to teams. They gave up 71 last week to Tulane, 41 the week prior to the same kind of team, 37 to Arkansas. Okay, expected, right? ULM put up 32 on them. Army is going to beat these boys into the ground, back to where they're wondering why we even brought this football program back, because this was dead. We shouldn't have brought it back. They're about to get ran out of the building. Army, team total, over 40.5. Right? That's why I have it. Or is it 40? It doesn't matter what it is. 41.5. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Over 41.5. Take it. Book it. Salute the service play of the day. Thank your troops after they put up 42 points. When you see a veteran, thank them for the 42.
Right. That is quite possibly, I think, the best play on the board. I love Army. Army scored in every single first drive they've had. I wish there was a way to bet it. There might be. They've scored a touchdown, or maybe at least gotten points on every single first drive they've had. And Army's just so good running the ball. And then what do you do when you're up? You run the ball. Yeah. So like those points just keep piling on. Their team or their spreads minus 26.5. I really do like that too. Go ahead.
And let me also preface this. Do not get discouraged when they score 7-0 in the first quarter. Do not, because with the triple option, the whole point is that your defense is going to get worn down, running 3 yards at a time, and eventually they bust one. By the time you'll see, if you go back and you look at their scores, it'll be 7 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second, 21 in the third, 14 in the fourth, because they just wear on you. And by the time the third quarter comes, it's over. It's over. You're tired of tackling these kids.
And then they end up with a defensive touchdown too. They're sound football.
Disciplined military kids.
Yeah, it's a fun one to watch if you can get it. Sometimes they're goofy and hard to find, and unfortunately, those people that live in New York or New Jersey, whichever one it is, cannot bet on them. I know
they're in New York. Yeah, West Point. West Point's in New
York.
So,
shout out those people that live there. That's why we have 10 plays. My next play. Speaking of Pitt, minus 3.5. If you guys haven't heard of Eli Holstein, give him time next year, maybe the year after that. I mean, this dude I think could be in a Heisman race at some point. Fantastic quarterback. He's not a household name right now unless you're a fan of the team or something like that, But he's already thrown 1,500 yards. He's got a 15-3 touchdown to INT ratio. He was throwing 5 touchdowns to every pick at this point right now. Pitt's scoring 38 points per game against FBS opponents compared to Cal at 24. Cal's got a pretty decent defense, but we talked about Pitt, being able to out boat race or whatever you want to say, UNC, they got an explosive offense. They're throwing the ball really well. They're able to run it too. They still have a pretty balanced attack there. Cal coming off a big game, and with college football, there's a lot of outside extrinsic factors you get to look at. And, Cal blew this game against Miami. And now they're having to fly all the way across the nation, and into Pitt here, potentially tired. They've got it's an early start, body clock wise for those boys on the West Coast, in like a 10 a.m. start their time or something like that. So, that's rough for them as well. There's just a lot of things. I think Cal comes out real slow. Pitt comes out fast like they usually do. And honestly, they don't look back. It could be a 14-point win at this point. This is one of those lines where if I was putting a lotto together, I'd feel comfortable putting Pitt at like -9.5. That it feels like they could win double digits type thing. Really, within the last 3 weeks, kind of fell in love betting on this team, I think, and they've been doing, and they have not lost yet. I don't know how they are ATS, but they're looking fantastic, super good. Number 3, I think, Ty, right? I like it too. Probably my favorite.
Yeah. I mean, this is the best slate that I felt about as far as 10 plays. Last week I felt good. The week prior I felt good, but I feel like this one's got a real shot.
Yeah.
So now it's my third pick. We're going to stay with the team that, in my opinion, continues to get disrespected week in and week out. And that's where football was born. I've said it here before. You can't disrespect the team that brought us football. If you're a football guy, you love football, you have to love the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And I love them because they play sound football. They're disciplined. They do what they're supposed to do. They don't beat themselves. Last week, they beat themselves. So many times they had opportunities to win that game outright, right? And they didn't. We're talking about drop balls with nobody around. Like, there's no way they come out and have those mental mistakes again. And this Wisconsin team is not that good. They play Big Ten defense. That's great. So does Rutgers. Welcome to the Big Ten, where everybody plays good defense. All right. We're taking Rutgers money line. All right. I think the spread's -1.5. We'll eat the small bit of juice. It's like -125. I'm taking Rutgers money line.
You had +7.5 last week, right? That cashed.
Yeah. It did cash. But they should have won outright. And they cashed.
So many
they didn't score. Yeah.
Should have won outright. I think.
Yeah. At the end, the cover, backdoor cover. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's me, Ma, with the cover. Backdoor covers only. Okay. Yep. But I'm taking Rutgers money line. No way they come out and look like they did last week. All those mental mistakes are fixed.
For sure. And that's another one I had, it's just one of those where like I felt there was, my 5 had better games or whatever, or, better opportunities or whatever. But I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot too. Even I do my alt line or whatever, Rutgers +7.5 in that parlay that I do, money, too, we'll see how it goes. All right. So now we get to the time of the show where, y'all have been here before. I'm going to bet on an under, and we joked last week that there was going to be, possibly the only bet that lost. Man, it was probably the easiest bet that we had. And we're going to go right back to Georgia versus Mississippi State under 29.5 in the first half. We definitely hit it last week. I feel that we were on it. I can't remember. Actually, I have the thing on my other screen right here. I was not on it last week. I was on it in the Discord, and then I brought it to the channel here. So the Discord is familiar with this for a couple of weeks. We've been hitting on it, and I brought it to YouTube, Twitter, X, whatever you guys are watching on right now. This is a trend that I'm going to probably bet until it loses or continue to just bet it all year. Kind of like back to like, man, it was probably 4 years ago, like Alabama first half spreads was just an auto bet, because they were just destroying folks, and that's fallen off a little bit, but Georgia's only scoring 7.5 points in the first half on average this year. Mississippi State is also scoring just 6.5 points on average. On the reverse side, Georgia is allowing 10 points in the first half. I wish I could stop. Mississippi State is allowing the 6th most first half points in the first half. However, Georgia, big look ahead spot. Georgia plays Tennessee next week. And I think it's a spot where Georgia's probably not too worried about Mississippi State sitting at the bottom of the conference, probably one of the worst teams in the conference. They kind of developed a run game last week, and I think they're going to continue to work that with ETN. I think they run the ball a lot, had a lot of success. Like I said, we can score 4 touchdowns in the first half and still hit our under. Mississippi State may not score a touchdown in the first half. If they don't, is Georgia really going to score 4 touchdowns, in my opinion, running the ball? I don't think so. So we're going to go with under 29.5 in the first half. And as long as we don't get turnovers, special teams, touchdowns, like in that game last night, we had, Maryland just fumbled the kickoff. Wow. Yeah. It's about to be 21-0. That's crazy. That game in the NFL last night, we had the Seattle kickoff return. I mean, that killed props. As long as we don't have something crazy like that happen, I think we're going to be pretty okay with our under here. So under 29.5 is my, I think that was my third play now.
Okay. So you know me, I'll always fix this issue when you go with this un-American, no points, unders, boring. Boring, but they win. But I'll sprinkle in some points. All right. We're going somewhere out west where it's beautiful. Palm trees. We're going to Hawaii where there's a serial killer on the loose in the backfield. If you've seen the videos, the guy doesn't even get in stance. He just stands. And then he takes off for 76 yards on one run on you. It's Jonty, the guy who's single-handedly destroying my futures ticket with Travis Hunter as the Heisman winner. You guys got it here. He's going to screw us. I know it. He needs to slow down, take him out a few games. He needs to just chill out because I have money on Travis Hunter that he's currently robbing from me. Everything this guy does. So I need him this week. Because I'm taking the team total over. I don't care what it's at. Anything under 60, I'm taking at this point. All right. I know it's not 60. I think it's like 44.5. And we're taking that. Yeah, no, I'm 40. Sorry. Boise State team total over 40.5. Fucking take that. Take that all day long. This guy will score 40.5 points by himself. Okay?
That's crazy.
Boise State team total. Michael Myers in the backfield running with a mask on his all the way to the end zone. He's scoring 41 by himself. He's breaking every single record as I rip up my Travis Hunter ticket. There's nothing that can be done. He's going to demolish Hawaii. He's going to demolish Hawaii.
So, I just started seeing those videos on, TikTok and stuff like that. But I'm sure he's been standing like that, forever. But I mean, there's gotta be a better way. Dude's just standing flat-footed,
So do you know what I think it is? You know what I think it is?
And not tip the defense?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's sense. What I think it is.
Because if he's gonna run and he's more lean forward or
How eerie is that when you look in the backfield and he's just standing there like he's watching the game? And then he takes off and stiffs arm you into your grave. And then as he's hurdling your teammate at the same time, stiff arming you.
Yeah. Dude's insane.
Demoralizing. 41 points, scored all by himself. Jonty.
And you were on the team total last
week. What him this Yeah. Did you see what his just for him to score a touchdown is? His prop?
We talked about it last week. It was like minus like 200.
Yeah, no, it's like minus 6,600. Yeah, now it's one touchdown. It's minus 6,600.
And 3 touchdowns.
If you want to lock, if you want to lock, take Jonty to score 1 touchdown. That's the biggest bet I could give you. It's guaranteed.
Put a milli,
lock of the
put a milli on it.
Yeah, lock of the century.
Yeah. You're right. I feel like next time you're talking, I might pull it up to see what like 3 touchdowns is, because it's honestly insane. Like there's really no use to betting on it. Like it's just one of those markets that it's like, why is this even available kind of thing.
No. First play of the game last week, 76 yards.
Yeah, just gone.
I wish I could do that.
What time's that game? Oh yeah, that's the game. That's the game that I was joking and said that you're gonna make me stay up all night because that's the last.
You don't have to.
That's the last leg we're gonna need.
He's gonna score 41 by himself in the first half. Don't even worry about it.
About got it.
6 plays. 6 plays, they'll be over.
Yeah, he's plus 105 to score 3 touchdowns.
Hammer.
Crazy. I mean,
at this point, they're trying to get him the Heisman, so they're just going to keep feeding him.
Yeah. I mean, that could be plus 105. Like that's solid. It's good.
I can't believe the team total is there. It should be how many points will Jonte score? That it shouldn't be Boise State team total. It should be Jonte team total.
Yeah, right. You're right. The over under how many touchdowns he has.
Yeah. Exactly. 7.5.
And then you can bet the field. You know.
Yeah. It'd be like plus 1,000 on the field.
Right. Steven, Maryland's not looking good, but I haven't paid attention, and I've been saying for the longest time, college football starts in the second half. It could be 24-0, and it's never truly over. So I'll we'll see what happens. But I'm not sweating it yet because I know they're a passing team, and Northwestern's really not that good.
Somebody said the band isn't even playing anymore. Ew.
Really? No way they sucked the energy out that bad already. I mean, they literally just got the ball, and they didn't do minus 1 yard loss, minus 2 yard loss, and they kicked a 43-yard field goal. So that fumble was a gift of 3 points. That's nothing. It's gonna be 14-17 at halftime.
Yep.
No big deal. Here we go. I got 2 overs coming at you, back to back. These 2 games, I think, could be honestly what college football is all about. You just want to sit back, see some dudes running down the field, seeing some points lit up on the field, on the scoreboard, whatever you want to say it. First one, I'm just going to go in order of the time that it's on. First one is Ole Miss and LSU over 62.5. I don't really care what the number is at this point. And I'll talk about it. It's actually my last bullet point that I've got here. You can't, sometimes you can look back and say, well, so-and-so hasn't beat so-and-so in 10 years. Well, Grandpa, that's not the same team anymore. It's probably not the same coach anymore. I get it. I understand. You can put that stuff into it. However, this team, these teams do have a history, and it's not playing a whole lot of defense. SEC matchup with 2 very good offenses. Lean LSU to cover the home dog plus 3.5. Money line might not be a bad look either. You have 2 pretty damn good quarterbacks dueling. Jackson Dart, is it Garrett? I think, right? Nussmeier, good quarterbacks. These guys are throwing 300 yards a game kind of thing. You look at Bama and you look at Georgia. When you got teams that have good defenses, or you get teams that get together in these conferences, it just turns into these offensive juggernaut type matches where it's just scoring. Last year in this game, we saw over 100 points. Last year, there's 104 points scored in this game. We have a total of 62.5. Obviously, it's a different team. Jaden Daniels not on the field anymore. I think Nussmeier throws the ball really well. Nussmeier might throw the ball better. Jalen Daniels runs it better. 104 last year. The year before that, 65, 48, 101, and 95 are the totals in the last 5 years. I mean, that's literally like 400 plus points in the last X amount of whatever. You know what I'm saying? Feel pretty good about the total. I think there's gonna be a ton of points. LSU does not play a lot of defense. Ole Miss has not really performed like we really thought, like we thought they would. They kind of had that loss to Kentucky, been looking a little weird and everything like that. So over the full game, Bert, over the full game, 62.5. And like I said, we'll recap at the end for those of you that are getting in, everything like that. Plenty of time to ask questions and everything. I love it when that name goes from Jort to Joey, because I grew up being called Joey, and I just think it's funny. Like, you're endearing and you're calling me Joey. Any first half spreads for these last two games? Tailed one you did last week. So I had a first half spread in the Clemson game, minus 11.5. But I mean, look, I can always give an answer. I can always do, whatever, but there's 80 some, what is it? 70, 80 games. Not every game's meant to be bet on. You got to kind of pick and choose your spots. I will say, before Ty gives his last play, if you guys seen, I hit that banger of a prop bet where there's a rush touchdown to be scored in every quarter between Jacksonville State and New Mexico State that they played, and that hit. It was plus 300 or something. I put 250 on it, won $1,000. There's a similar one, but it's past touchdowns, plus 440. Very heavily passing teams. Just a little sprinkle of a prop for you guys. It's something coming from my head. I think that's going to hit. There's a 30% boost. It might just make it plus 600 something. That's all I got to say. Ty.
And if you want a free bet right now, I'll give it to you. I'll give you a free bet to anyone that's watched the show. Right now, you got to put it in right now. UNLV team total over 44.5. Go ahead, lock it in. The game's starting right now. They have team totals now on FanDuel, not just on DraftKings. Lock yourself in there. Watch the Rebels, who were born in Vegas on a strip that was created by a bunch of mobsters out of New York City. These kids respect coin because they understand the life. All right? They understand the life. All right, and I'm going to go to my final game of the day, which is near and dear to my heart. And I tell you right now, Jort says not every game is meant to be bet on. I say to hell with that. Get the 1-800-GAMBLER ready and bet on every game that you can find. If there's 76 games, you better have 80 bets. All right?
Because 4 of them
not really, but come on.
All day parlays.
Yeah. You bet as much as your little heart wants, as long as it doesn't affect you financially and you're winning. That's the most important
I told my wife, because I had hip surgery, for those of you that are unfamiliar or whatever, but I put in a 20-leg parlay to win $120,000. So I told her, be ready.
He was on perks.
Yeah, you were on Percocet. Be ready to hit that.
You were on drugs. Over 44.5. Yep. Yeah, you were on drugs and gambling. Not probably something you should do, but hey, under the influence, you know what I'm saying? Under the influence and over in the bank account. All right.
Yep.
So here's what we're doing. I promise you guys, people are going to say, oh, he's betting with his heart. Oh, he's a fucking homer. I promise you I'm not. I rarely do this. Jort can attest. We're going to go to Hollywood. UNLV! UNLV! Yeah, you fucking, I don't know about 50. Just wait a second. Don't take it at 50. If it's at 47.5, you take that. That's 48. That's a key number. 50, I'd pump the brakes on. But they might get 50. 50 burger coming by UNLV. These kids respect coin. But back to what I was saying. Penn State, USC. We're going to go out to Hollywood. We're a Big Ten. Go. That kid respects coin so much. I'm sorry. Okay, just wait. Just wait till it gets like 47. Can you put these up? 50. Just if you want to, go ahead. I don't know if they might get 50. Go light on it. But when it drops down below 47.5, then hit it for over at 69.5. Utah State's going to have to help. I think they can. 69 is a great
like
number.
that. I really like that quarterback that they have. Utah State.
Utah State can ball. Go ahead and take it. Actually, I got a funny story. The running back and this will be quick. The running at 72.5. God. Guys, just jump on the over. Whatever you want to take, just jump on. I can't. It's going to keep climbing. Life's too short. Look, you guys know my motto. Life is too short to bet the under. Let's ride the over. All right. The running back I actually met that plays for Utah State. Super athletic kid. My dog came out, who's a pit bull, and the kid jumped from the ground to the top of my car. Never met the kid before. This was my first time ever meeting him. He played on my nephew's AAU team, and that's why I knew that kid's a freak athlete.
He jumped on your car?
Yeah, the top of it, like the hood.
Oh,
not the hood of my car, like the hood where the moonroof is. I was like, wow, like that kid is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
Anyways, Penn State, USC. All right. There's no way in hell Penn State is losing to this USC team. This Hollywood bimbos out there. We're going to fly out there, handle business. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be disgusting. It will not look good. It's going to be frustrating. You're going to watch Drew Allar, and you might want to turn the TV off. That's fine. Just trust me. They're covering, okay? They're covering. I moved it, though. We're going to take -2.5 alt spread. It is going to be a field goal game, okay? They lost last week to Minnesota. They lost to Michigan. There's no way in hell they're losing to Penn State. Whether you like it or not, they're the second best team in the Big Ten. There's a wide margin between 1 and 2, though. But they're still the second best team in the Big Ten. We're going Penn State alt spread -2.5. Expect the defense to show up big against this USC bimbo team. And I think that's all.
For those of you that you think he's being a little homer, I'd show you. We had a group chat. Pretty sure I texted that last night or in yesterday morning or something, and I said, why is the spread it was at 4.5 at that point. Like, why is the spread at 4.5? Seems too low. Seems like it could be a touchdown. 6.5. Make you choose, or whatever. But I was on Penn State. I was thinking Penn State in a play I'll have in the Discord. Shout out to Discord if you're interested in that or you have not checked that out. There's a link at the bottom within the description on Twitter. All caps Jort, save you 25% off the 2 weeks or the month. Twitter at the very top. But there's a play I was thinking about them on the money line, and then when Ty sent that over, he said he liked the 2.5. Felt good to have that validation. Because Ty did bet against Penn State once on this very show, and he took West Virginia, and Penn State looked fantastic.
Smoked them.
They smoked them. Cam Rising apparently going to play. See how that
Great.
goes.
He'll be injured. 32-year-old playing quarterback for Utah. Whatever.
Yeah. Can't make it through. All right. My last play. Before I give it, now's the time. Somebody said something about like Alabama in there. Yeah, ULV scored already. They call that the go-go offense. They're quick, high tempo. UNLV is a pretty good ball team. I do like that. Do like them. Now's the time though. If you guys have perfect, like Trent asked about this, we'll get to that here in a second. Now's the time to put questions in there, so we're not having any bit of a lag. We'll just get out of what I have, and then we'll hop into that Cincinnati UCF type question there. But my play, full game, over 55.5, Kansas State versus Colorado. And I'll tell you what, man, I do feel like I banned Colorado at one point, and I feel like I banned Kansas State at one point. But there's times where you got to look past wrongdoings. These two teams both going to score pretty well here. I haven't been able to get them right, but I think betting the under is absolutely the wrong bet. It's the over or nothing for me at this point. Colorado, and this is a spot where it's just a classic mismatch on both sides. You got K-State, who runs the ball pretty damn well. Colorado is very bad at stopping the run. All right, you got Colorado that throws the ball really well. You got K-State that does not do a very good job of stopping the pass. Both offenses are their strengths in this game, which obviously leads to points. And then you got Coach Prime. Plays with tempo, all gas, no brakes. Guy, look, if he's up a touchdown, he's still passing. He's still throwing 50-yard passes. They do not slow down. I saw people joking about taking it now. Like before the game starts, a fourth quarter, you can get Colorado. It's like +1.5, I think, or something like that. Because even if they're up, you think about fourth quarter, if they're up 30 points, they're going to slow down. The other team's going to score. No, Colorado doesn't stop. But I like the full game over. I think Kansas State quarterback's going to be able to run the ball really well, effectively against them. I think Colorado throws the ball really well. We need ourselves a good Travis Hunter game for his Heisman, the Heisman hopeful of the Discord with the future bet on that. Please. But over 55.5 full game is what I'm liking for my last play.
Is that an Overs Club? Is that an Overs Club members only play? You want access? You want to join?
I had 2 of them to combat my first half under.
True. You so do have a first half under. Yeah. You've gone against our rules and regulations.
Money's
here in
green. I don't care how I make it as long as I make it.
Yeah, we do. We have standards here at the clubhouse, though.
Yeah, I don't need it.
So before we get into the questions, I of course have to do the dogs are barking. Okay, every week we get like 3 or 4 of these that actually win outright. Okay, that's because I love them. All right, so the dogs are barking. I got it written right here. We're gonna go UNC. Obviously, we already are sprinkling that. Then we're go to the Spartans. This is Sparta. 300 kick you right down the whole money line. All right. We're going to go to Arizona money line. We're going to do another academy game. This is one I don't like as much, but we're going to go with the Air Force Falcons. And then we're going to finish it up with hopefully a beautiful sweep with the Colorado Buffaloes that have 3 toes, the same as Deion Sanders. Outright money line. All right. That's a real stat. Deion and the Buffalo share the same amount of toes. 3.
That's funny. All right. We'll recap real fast. I am running with Clemson, 11.5, minus 11.5 first half. Pitt, minus 3.5. Georgia, Mississippi State, first half under 29.5. Ole Miss versus LSU over 62.5. And K-State versus Colorado over 55.5. Ty, you want to read yours off?
Yeah, I'm going to the birth of football over here in Jersey, where Tony Soprano lives. We're going Rutgers money line. Then we're going to go to Salute the Service game. Army team total over 41.5. Bombs are dropping. Tanks are running. We're scoring points. Then we're going to go down to the Baby Blues, where they're going to outright win against the Bees. All right. Then we're going to go over to Hollywood, where Penn State's going to beat the shit out of that Hollywood team. Excuse my language. And then we're going to go to Ashan Genti to score over 40.5 points himself. It's Boise State, but he's going to score that himself. And then don't forget the dogs. It's UNC, San Jose State, Arizona, Air Force, Colorado to finish it off. Cincinnati or UCF? I'm just going to go off the top of my head. I mean, I would go Cincinnati. They've been playing pretty good. I know Jordan loves UCF. I would take Cincinnati on the spread, though.
Yeah, this is one of those spots where you don't have to bet every game, in my opinion. I'm sure there's value there, but I know Chief has been betting on Cincinnati a lot in the Discord. If you're in the Discord, I see him hitting a lot of Cincinnati tickets. UCF is struggling. They're not really doing as much as I would have hoped they would have done. So mine is no opinion.
Gotta get those Zinnichinos going, for the late night games. You just throw one of these Tempur-Pedic pillows up in your upper decky, as they say, and life is good.
A hockey player. Syracuse minus 2.5 against NC State. I would go Syracuse. I do like Kyle McCord a lot, man. Kyle McCord threw the ball really well. Just recently they upset UNLV. That was a Friday night game, as we've seen Fridays, they scored. Maryland's losing 7-17 as a 10-point favorite, if not more than that. But who's that quarterback? Grayson McCall. I don't know if he's going to play or not. They took him out on a stretcher, I think. Grayson McCall, another resident 30-year-old quarterback in the college football there. But especially if Grayson McCall doesn't play, Kyle McCord's good, man. He's been throwing 300 plus, 4 touchdowns kind of thing. I think Syracuse wins that game for sure.
You know what I would do? I'd ladder this. Syracuse wins, covers the spread for sure. I would take Syracuse minus 2.5. I would then take Syracuse minus 6.5. I would then take Syracuse minus 9.5, and I would take Syracuse minus 13.5. I think this is a potential 14-point winner here for Cuse.
One of those spots where it's like,
I mean, NC State's been terrible.
Yeah, right. Even with their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
For sure. So, yeah, you got Syracuse on there.
Oh, God, UNLV off to the races again. These kids respect coin. They're out in the desert. They're betting on themselves. They love the over. They took the over. Yes, Louisville does play this weekend. Who do they play? Gosh. I literally looked at it. I said, gosh.
I looked at it too, and I was not interested
Virginia.
at all. I've seen it.
Virginia.
And I was just like, nope.
I'm not betting. I don't want that. Not betting against this. No, I don't understand this Virginia team. Virginia Tech. I'm staying away from those two teams.
Yeah, I pretty much I go through my slate, and then I got a little notebook, and I start at 12 o'clock, and I write down what games do I think I'm interested at 12. What games do I think I'm interested in 3, and I quickly go past Missouri versus UMass minus 27.5. No, man, much better games out there to bet on, and I go through, and that's how I do it. Those are my tools to trade. All right. Well, those were only a couple questions. You guys got any? I still see there's quite a decent amount of people in here on YouTube that's still watching. If you guys have, I'm getting. I think my wife's watching a movie. I'm getting that I got 1 bar, so hopefully it's not too bad. How
to Get Away with Murder? That's what she's watching.
I think she's watching Pixels. She's been wanting to watch that. It came to Netflix again.
I don't know what that is, but
Adam Sandler movie about the video games. The aliens invade as video game characters.
Oh, okay. All right.
The giant Pac-Man. Oh. South Carolina plus 21.5.
I'd stay away.
Oh, Bama, right?
Yeah, I'd stay away, dude. Bama just got beat by Vandy. No, this is a spot where they're going to come out and probably beat the brakes off of South Carolina. They got to. Yeah, of course I'll have well, we'll see. I'm going to try to have lives for this game. Oh, they're watching. Wait, who is that? Is that your wife? Lola?
No.
You sure?
There's a Lola in the Discord that always asks you about lives. So that's probably that it's
I don't know. That don't look like the Lola in the Discord.
No,
that don't look like the Lola. The Lola in the Discord does not look like that Lola.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, I would stay away from Louisville, Virginia game. I don't know what to think about that game personally, but I think it stink. I would move Alabama to 20.5. They lost to Vanderbilt, got absolutely embarrassed. It seems like this is going to be a game where they're going to come out and probably just really put it on them, not take their foot off the brake. Practice was probably very, very difficult this week for those Alabama boys.
But South Carolina, came back or whoever in LSU. I mean, that was a tough game, maybe some Bama team total, if it's not too crazy and they just go. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what's tough about college football. Sometimes you got to look at what happens the week prior.
Yeah. And also who they play next week. It really, just like with Georgia playing Texas, they're not going to go out there balls to the wall. If they're up, 2 touchdowns comfortably, they're going to run it and coast. Get out of there.
Yeah.
No injuries, not put any more on tape. Move on,
Yeah. Stefan, we love you too, buddy. And Ty is Coach Ty in Discord right now. Oh, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but yeah, appreciate you, man. Love you too. But thank you guys for watching. I will see if I have any live bets to drop. I'll see. It's all about watching the game and seeing where it goes. It's the only way to bet them. So I'm going to head over here, go and watch these 2 games that are on tonight, and I'll see what I have for you guys. But don't forget to like, share, subscribe, follow, all that stuff that all these other YouTubers say that I don't know how to say. But go ahead and do that. I'm sure it's right down here or something. Just go ahead and do that. Let's get these up. Every week this show keeps going up. Hopefully we can get to 300 views here soon. If we keep winning, you guys keep sharing the show, we can get there. So thank you guys.
I know a lot of you guys watch in the morning too, prep work or whatever. So you're watching this on recorded version, drop a comment. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, if you want all the plays outside, this is 10 good, solid plays. A lot of these are going to be straights or used in parlay pieces for us. But if you want every ounce of whatever. And if you're interested in checking it out, like I said, 25% off in the Discord. Trophies, sports pictures, a 2 week and a month. All caps Jort, Jort. If you want to check that out. But like Ty said, we appreciate you guys. We'll go ahead and close it out. I'm actually hit the you guys
outro
here, outro, which is actually just the intro. And we'll see you guys back next week.
See you guys.